welcome back to Campbell HR. We are so honored this morning to really just welcome Shrewsberry to the conversation. For those of you that know this is Campbell HR, we really like to not only highlight many of the clients that we're working with, but also allow them to tell their own story. So with that, I want to welcome you both to the conversation and would like for you just to go ahead and just briefly do your own introductions.
Okay, sure. Again, Anthony Warren. I'm president and CEO here at Shrewsberry. I've been with Shrewsberry almost 10 years now. It'll be 10 years this spring. And yeah, it's been a fantastic journey, great people, learning a lot about the industry still, but very excited about the future of our industry and about Shrewsberry Associates in general.
Yes, thank you. My name is Eric Roll. I've been with Shrewsbury since 2003. So I'm in my 23rd year, and I have been a traveler. I traveled from Indianapolis and moved to Denver to Seattle, and with the expansion programs that we've had throughout the years.
That is fantastic. You know, it's really interesting. I read a little bit about Shrewsberry, but can you both maybe just share a little bit about the history of Shrewsberry? And maybe Anthony, do you want to start?
Sure, no, absolutely. So, as Bill Shrewsberry would say, who's the founder, in the beginning, there were five, right? And so Mr. Shrewsberry, or Bill as he prefers to be called, he purchased the environmental division from a local engineering firm in Indianapolis in 2001. And he utilized that group to found or establish Shrewsberry and Associates in September 2001. And as many people may remember, 10 days later was 9/11 happens. So that was a very unsettling time for us, as a company just getting started. But we persevered, right? And I'd like to just say that we've been very blessed over time to work on some very large projects, high-profile projects that have helped us to continually grow and expand. For example, I'll give you a couple examples. In 2003, the Indianapolis Airport Authority was building a midfield terminal, and Shrewsberry and Associates became the overall program manager for the for aviation landside project. So that was a great role for us. That was huge. And about that same time, too, as we kept bringing on new staff, including Eric, we started to offer engineering services. So again, very important for us as we evolved as a firm. Another good example would be of a transformational project would be Denver International Airport's Hotel and Conference Center. And Mr. Eric Roll, my friend here and colleague, he was the first one to go out. And the way it happens is that our teaming partner, one of our teaming partners here in Indianapolis, asked us if we would join a pursuit out in Denver. And we, of course, said yes, we'd be interested. We are explorers. And so Eric stepped up and took the lead. He led the quality management program for that iconic West End hotel there at the airport for that hotel and conference center. So that was great for us. It helped us to expand, and it helps us to establish an office there in that region. So again, just to kind of summarize a little bit, again, we started with 5, now we're about 110. We were founded in Indianapolis, which is still where the headquarters is, but we have offices across the country. Like I said, Denver is one of the offices now, is the largest office outside of Indianapolis, and with about 30 people. But then we have several other offices like Seattle, Dallas, Austin, Nashville, several places in Indiana also. And then we also have a fairly new office in Atlanta, Georgia. So yeah, that's kind of the footprint expansion. From a services standpoint, we started with environmental services, which we don't offer anymore. Now we have 3 major service areas. We do engineering, we do construction services, and then lastly, we do landscape architecture. The landscape architects focus on things like placemaking, urban development, that sort of thing, then urban design development. And then let's see, construction services for us means inspection, but it also increasingly for us, it means more program management, quality management, that sort of overall PMCM sort of programmatic sort of role. And then finally, engineering for us means aviation, it means roadway and traffic design. It means broader water resources from stormwater to drinking water to wastewater. And then finally, also some site. So that's kind of like a abbreviated sort of summary of our history and our expansion over time.
No, I think it's really insightful. And Anthony, that gives the listeners really a perspective of what is Shrewsberry, where it came from, its beginnings, and some of the things that you're working in on. I know that as you were listening, please feel free to click on the link below to learn a little bit more about Shrewsberry. You can see a little bit more about their history. As we are doing that and talking about the industries, could you share a little bit more about the culture? Why would people want to really come and engage, work for, be a part of the organization, the firm?
So yeah, I think first of all, I'd just like to say we care a lot about the culture of Shrewsbury, and frankly, we feel that it is indeed a competitive advantage for us. We care about people, and we also like to attract. We hope to attract people who align with our core values. So from a firm standpoint, we have six core values that provide a framework for our company culture. It's diversity, integrity, stewardship, excellence, community, and then teamwork. So just quickly, from a diversity standpoint, we embrace diversity in its dimensions, various dimensions. We just do it, right? That's just kind of who we are. Integrity for us, I always tell folks that the company was built on the bedrock of ethics, and we tell our staff always do the right thing every time. Stewardship, we are entrusted, our clients entrusted us with their valuable resources, and we want to steward those well. So we take that very seriously. Excellence, as Eric always says, that our goal is to be best in class, right? So we strive to be great engineers, not mediocre. And so in that pursuit, we want to make sure our goal is to exceed the expectations of our clients every time. Let's see, C is for community. Simply put, we give back, right? And then finally, the T is for teamwork. And yeah, we encourage our folks to be great team players internally, but also with our teaming partners. And so those are some of those are the six core values that provide a framework. From a vision standpoint, the future of Shrewsbury, as I said earlier, I believe is bright. And from a vision standpoint, Shrewsbury, our aim is to be the first choice provider for engineering and consulting services, right? We strive to be the best, as I said, and we want to be the most sought after in our industry. And our aim really is to we want to set the standard for what it looks like to be a high performing small business that performs, again, at a very high level. And then also we'd like to paint a picture for what a great engineering firm looks like in general. So.
Yeah, I think it's really important, Anthony, as you outlined the culture, really, what are the components that you look for in new employees, people to join your team, but also as people are looking to join firms, I think having that vision and identifying those culture points are really important. Eric, I'm going to ask you to share just maybe some of the current projects you all are working on and things that you would like to share a little bit more in depth about what Shrewsberry is doing.
Absolutely. And we, as Anthony said, have worked on several what I call iconic projects. I'm going to start with one of our groups, which is, you can call it construction services, or in some places they call it PMCM. So right now we're on a 5-year Indianapolis International Airport Program Management program, and that we are leading that team. So Shrewsbury is the lead on that. Another iconic project that we have worked on recently is the Community Justice Center in Indianapolis. We have a 10-year relationship in DC on the DC Water Clean Rivers program, which is a $3 billion program, and we still continue to work on that program. The Denver International Airport Great Hall program, that's about $1 to $2 billion by the time it's done. And we are doing program management, quality management on that contract. We recently won a 3-year program, a PMT, a program management team contract with the city of Aurora, which we are leading the team. So we're the prime consultant on that. And in the Pacific Northwest, we are currently working on the Seattle-Tacoma International Airport Concourse C expansion, which is about $500 million. So we have resident engineers, we have inspectors, and more PMCM roles. On the engineering side, which is what Shrewsbury is really known for as our primary service area, in Indianapolis, we have the Indiana Department of Transportation on-call contracts that we have had ongoing. We also, with Indigo, which is the bus transit system company in Indianapolis, we've done the bus rapid transit super stops actually, and the Blue Line. And also we have done actually the city of and county of Denver, 56th Avenue widening design build project was Shrewsbury's first design build as a lead designer. That was monumental for us. So that's massive. Then also in engineering transportation, we have the Colorado Department of Transportation I-70. That's a public-private partnership, P3.
Yes.
It's about $1.3 billion. And we have some projects, design build projects in the Pacific Northwest with Hood River Bridge design build and the washed out I-90 fish passage. On the aviation side, we have the Denver International Airport Gate Expansion Program that has been on, I believe it's more than 10 years going now, that program. And then at Dallas Fort Worth, we have an on-call engineering contract out there, and then Nashville International Airport engineering on-call. For landscape architecture, some of the projects that we are very proud of, and most proud of really, is the Gainbridge Life, which is the Pacers Arena, that we did the landscape architecture for that project, and then the Frederick Douglass Park, which is is historical, and then also the Wildcat Creek waterfront improvement. So these are some of the what we consider to be iconic programs that we have worked on over the years.
It's fantastic to hear, because Shrewsbury not only has a rich culture, but listening to the projects that you're working on, it also reflects that you are truly involved in the community and the projects that you're working on. And that is part of the culture that you all are building and have built. I want to just take the last couple minutes to talk about, and many times people ask, tell us from your perspective as the executive team, what type of talent are you really looking for now? Again, we can talk to candidates all day long about what organizations are looking for, but now I want our listeners to hear directly from the executive team of Shrewsbury. This is what they're looking for.
Sure. Now I'll start. I mean, for us, first of all, we look for talent that fit our culture, and for staff that aligns with our core values. I mean, for us, that's just non-negotiable, right? It's a non-starter. If someone is not a good culture fit, then it's just a non-starter. So, but we also, in addition to that, we look for top talent, right? We want people who can deliver at a high level, but also for staff who embrace growth and also continuous improvement. And along those lines too, we want people that embrace this philosophy towards their professions, that they're going to be a lifelong learner, such that they continue to grow and develop with, as the company does also. And I would say finally, for me, we look for people who are passionate about their profession and who are excellent in their in the delivery of their work product. So, those are some of the attributes that we look for the talent that we want to attract. Eric, what else would you say?
I don't want to repeat some of the great content you just provided there, but I would just use them. I'll just use one word I think Anthony mentioned earlier: best in class.
Yes.
And, you know, that means someone who is pursuing excellence in everything that they do.
Yes.
The way they present themselves, the way they deliver projects, the way they interact with their co-workers, the way they interact with clients. All of that to me embodies the term that I use, which is best in class.
Yeah. Eric, you could not have summarized it best, and why Campbell HR has decided to continue its partnership with Shrewsberry, but also really highlighting what Shrewsberry is doing. I want to thank you both, Anthony Warren and Eric Raleigh, not only for your leadership, but taking this time with us to share not only with our audience, but as we continue to develop engineers and architects and landscape architects in the future, that they would even think about Shrewsberry, they can watch this and see that excellence is at hand. So thank you all for your time. For those that are watching again, please click on the link below, Shrewsberry, to learn all about them, and contact us with any questions. With that, we thank you and have a great day.